It was the year when, Junior Tucker, Papa San, Carlin Davis, all of them kind of did come to the fold. So, I was there at the inception of that, and I was really impacted by all of those ministries. So we actually started a little group called the Blessed Group, and we'd go around and sing, some Junior Tucker, some Papa San, some Stitchy. So simultaneously doing all of that, God was working on me. So when I recommitted my life to Christ and really said I'm going to serve him, he started actually giving me, inspiration to write my own songs. So, we started evolving from just singing other people's songs till we start singing, my own original songs. So, I've been performing since then, from 99, before I even record a single. I never recorded a single till 2005. But, for years I was on platforms with Papa San, with Stitchy, with Nicholas, DJ Nicholas, Ryan Mark, years before I even recorded an actual song. So I hope that gives you a little background, but yeah, I don't want to stay too long for one question, because knowing you probably have a bigger question.
I can't tell you how much question me have still, but alright, make we continue. So you hear it from Minister Blessed before he came to Christ, what it, everything was about as a youngster, going to Wilmers and all of that. So how you get started with this music journey now? Like, I know you mentioned apartheid, but you say right. From 2005 now you start do your thing.
All right, so let me, when I really drink thing, I forgive me Pepsi or grape when I think. But what I would say is that when I during that musical journey, I have to give credit where credit is due. So Youth for Christ had a DJ competition. They had one for Portmore, they had one for St. Catherine, and they had one for All Islands. So I actually entered that competition, and I won all categories right until national. And when at those times, Moses and Gallimore were the judges as well. So these are guys they look up to, when gospel reggae just emerging. And because of winning that competition, it provided the platform for me to go on two of their big events at the time. In Portmore was one called Gospel in Motion, and in Kingston would have been Genesis. So I did those two events, 2001 and then 2002. So that kind of is where my elevation in terms of being on a big event started. But as I said, I was going to school at the time as well and trying to do the balancing act. So I never really have much knowledge from how to record a song point of view. I can tell you I submitted demos, at the time there was only one person we knew doing gospel reggae. So I submitted, demos to like Main Street and Danny Brownie, but never hear back. And do collabs with some of my friends them and so from Ulmas as well, but we never hear not. So kind of eat a break. But thanks to Dr. Dizzle, 2005, he gave me my first single, Dandy Shandy. I'll never forget it. I think it was the same year we had a hurricane. It was either Ivan or one of them, and I never forget it. I would spend the whole night at studio record, and I say, for some reason I just had it in my mind, I could save it on a thumb drive or something, just in case. I was thinking nothing, but then, I think it was 48 hours, no light, I fret on the song, I would spend so much time on it, backup singers, all of these things, but luckily we had saved it on a thumb drive. But it was all good, and, gave me my first single. Kevin Lewis at the time, Mega Jams, was the first person, him and Marshy Reds to play that song, and it was really a good feeling to get your first song played on air. So that was 2005, my first single. Don't know how much further you want me to go from there before. I don't want to go too far and end up answer some of your other questions. So that would be the beginning, so to speak.
You're probably right, because the next question is how long have you been ministering? But guess what? Just before we go there, so more of the people them hear that song there, Dandy Shandy. What do you think?
Yeah, if you can, yeah, it.
The devil want to shoot me. He want to depress me.
Really, bro?
Him can't test me. When I sight him down, them like me, I play Dandy Shandy. The devil want to shoot me. He want to depress me. Excuse me, I don't play Dandy Shandy. Want me back slice, stuffy DJ for Christ. Excuse me, I don't play Dandy Shandy. Things I cock up is a 10, hell better than 11. Excuse me, I don't play Dandy Shandy. He want me to fight and have enough girlfriend.
Minister Blessed. That song, where you get that song? Dandy Shandy I play before you ask you that?
So actually this song was written a couple of weeks before my first major performance at Gospel in Motion. And basically there was, at the time, I used to write songs a bit differently than now, and my songwriting has evolved. But at the time, I used to write songs based on things going on around me in terms of slang. So for example, there was a time I don't know what the context is, but there was a time where even Youth for Christ and we got to camp and stuff, and there were just some, girls going on stush, and everybody used to play dandish and they throw a box and whatever, and there were some girls that they were kind of a bit uptight and they were like, excuse me, if you ask them to play, they're like, excuse me, I don't play dandish. So we used to just say it as a slang. It never mean, no, we just used to do it as a teasing. But one morning, and most musicians might tell you this, that sometimes when you're writing a song, it tends to be, when you're having a shower in the bathroom for some reason. But yeah, I was basically having a shower and, I was praying and I just got this revelation about, go and read Ephesians. And I went and I saw where, Paul was talking about putting on the whole armor of God, being able to withstand the devil and his fiery darts and, helmet of salvation and sword of the spirit, belt of truth, all these things. And my mind just started go differently. I say, yeah, them girls, they said them not play dandy shandy, but what if in a spiritual sense, the devil come after you and you don't have on your armor? What you gonna do? You can't handle him fire them, so you probably gonna sight him that him like you play dandy shandy. So that's where the thought came from. And then I put pen to paper and say, all right, so if the devil want to shoot me, want to depress me not sight him that them, come fully armed. So I say, no, I'm gonna play dandy shandy. And yeah, I mean, it was a really popular song at a live concert before I even recorded it. Anytime I perform it, would always lead to encore and stuff. But yeah, so it's a long history. And even the recording wasn't necessarily the way I wanted it to go. But how we're used to doing it with live band and then with a recording and try and work with a little track. But yeah, that's where it kind of came from and elevated from.
All right, I like the context still and the the content of it. I like them type of things. I like this artists just write song without certain concept. You know what I mean? So we know that you have migrated. For those who don't know, Minister Blessed would have migrated to the UK, right? How much years now, bro? About 3?
It's four. I know you not miss me much, but it's 4.5 years now, so we reach 5. So I thought about 2, that means for you, I just yesterday. For me, it feel like 10 years now, but it's 4.5 years now since I've left Jamaica, the land of my birth.
Okay, and how has the journey been, bro? Like the whole like different culture, how has it been?
I mean, I'm in 4.5 years now, so I've gotten used to certain things. But I would say maybe the first 2 years was a struggle in terms of, I think the first 2 years, I would even say we had a summer. It was just always raining. There was snow. Time you could even go up on the road. You're locked in your house. I've never reached a stage where I knew any more than say 10 Jamaicans on the island. So a very small cluster of us. There's no Jamaican restaurants. There's no, if you want to call it black church or Caribbean churches or anything like that. There's no gospel station. There's no live concerts that you can go in a gospel sense. The culture here is more about going to pubs and drinking and getting drunk and, just enjoying worldly and music, so to speak. So I personally didn't try any event over here for the first 2 years I'm here. I've gone back to Jamaica. I've done We Are Come From Far with Life. I've gone back and done an album, but I haven't really pushed anything here just because of the challenges I saw, as well as the fact that it's just a total different culture. And there are 2 things about it. One is from a gospel. In Jamaica sometimes we still get a fight as a gospel reggae because them say, boy, it's not traditional, etc. If you think that bad over there, so if you come into a society like this where in the first place, gospel is not really that popular. So in the sense of persons who actually listen to gospel and consider themselves Christians, they would not at all associate reggae or dancehall or anything like that with gospel. So yeah, that as one hurdle. And then the second hurdle would be the fact that there's no gospel stations, there's nowhere that would endorse gospel. So even if you wanted to put on an event and go on a platform, it would be very difficult from a total gospel point of view, a Christian point of view. So I've said I've been back to Jamaica twice to do events, but last year, obviously, we had the COVID-19 impact, and that might go into another question, but focusing on the topic I'm on right now. COVID-19 happened last year, borders were closed, we couldn't go anywhere, couldn't go back to Jamaica. And one night I remember I was sleeping and I had a dream that the Lord basically was cussing me. Like he was saying, you know, you have this talent, I've given you this talent, you've been here for almost 4 years now and you haven't done anything with that talent here. Yes, it's good to, you know, go back to Jamaica where you're basically in your comfort zone, but what are you doing to make an impact here? And I woke up really feeling perplexed about that dream. You know, I went to church, I spoke to the pastor about it and stuff, and I said, you know what, I'm going to do an event. But again, with the challenges and stuff, I had to come from a different approach. So I held an event called Afro-Caribbean Fusion. And basically what I did is take it from an approach of our culture versus trying to say it's a gospel event. So we came from a cultural approach. So what happened was, you know, there were some guys from Zimbabwe, there were some guys from Morocco, and then there's me from Jamaica. So I still did my set, I still did my Keep Pressing On, Hot Like Fire, etc. But, you know, we kind of tried to do it as, you know, this is our culture, reggae, dancehall, gospel, this is our culture. So that's the kind of way I eased into it. So I did that last year, October. And then in Christmas, we had Afro-Caribbean Christmas, found a chef who could do jerk chicken. So, you know, people came for the jerk chicken. We did bouncer bounce and stuff for the kids. And then we ended with a concert vibe again. So that's the kind of, you know, we have had to evolve and try to, if you want to call it, penetrate a new market, so to speak. But it hasn't been easy, I'll tell you that.
Definitely. I can understand, but, you know, it's really good that even though, you know, things may not be how you would want it in that space, at least you could have created something for yourself and for, you know, for the church and for the community to let them know a little bit more about you, and of course to use your talent, as you said. You got that dream, you got a box from the Lord as well.
A box, but it wasn't a drink.
It wasn't a box drink?
No, it wasn't a box drink. You know, I've had a box drink in a long time. Some Big Joe and Pep Up and them something. You know, I missed something there.
Probably if I try to send it over there, it might spoil before it reach, no?
Yeah, and they might check it for jugs and things, especially when them say your name, DJ Mark in the mix. I'm saying, where am I mix up? You know, where am I mix up?
Let's get back to these questions. So Sir Blessed, some of the challenges you face doing music. I know I always hear stories. You understand, people don't want to play your songs, DJ don't want to play your songs, producers don't want to produce for you. People within certain parts of certain churches, they don't want to hear your music. What are some of the challenges you faced while, you know, in your musical journey?
I mean, to be absolutely honest with you, I can't really say I face challenges from a producer point of view or airplay point of view. I think one of the things people have always told me is that they admire my work ethic. So I find that a producer would more want to work with me because he knows, say, he might have 10 artists on a rhythm, but he knows, say, if MB upon him rhythm, he might go say, you know, he might go say a newspaper release about it, he might go hear some radio interview about it, you know, while other artists might just get them song and, you know, that's it. But, you know, say, I'm going to promote and stuff. So because of that, you find that, you know, producers would more want to work with me for that kind of exposure, because they get the exposure as well. I think from a radio point of view as well, I think a lot of times relationships is very important, and, you know, I always try to keep good relationships with my fellow persons in the industry. It's a bit harder now because I'm 6 hours away, so sometimes, you know, like we have DJ Robert coming on tonight, and when I'm ready for start, I mean, at my bedtime, we can't really keep up, or like Nick launch him album, I'd have to watch the replay in the morning. You know, it's harder to keep there at the right time. But I can't really say I've struggled from the point of view of, you know, people not playing my songs or producers not giving me the time of day. What I would say is, obviously I have had those struggles maybe in the past before I kind of evolved. So when I spoke about like Kevin Lewis and Marsh Events playing Dandy Shandy, at that time, you know, you wouldn't really hear that on a Love 101, you wouldn't hear it on a Zip 103, you know, so it's a journey that you went on. And I think to give credit where credit is due, you know, I think the radio stations themselves have evolved over time. So there was a time when no matter which radio station, it's just the same song them a play. every concert you go, the same artist them. I think we can say that we've seen a shift where, you know, younger talents have gotten a platform to do stuff. We've seen, you know, more mature artists take artists under them wings and stuff. There are some things that could be better, of course, but I think, you know, even a platform like this, DJ Mark able to have his platform and invite artists on, young, established, middle, it no matter. I think we've really evolved from that. What I would say is the main challenge I've probably had in my career is more when it comes to live performances. That has been a challenge for me in terms of, for example, you have a running order. I remember all Genesis, you have your running order, you're supposed to go on at this time, and then especially as a young artist at the time, like we're supposed to go on at 2 o'clock, and you know, some artists who weren't on the show up at 1:55, and because they're bigger artists or whatever, them give them the platform. But then because them do that now, it throw off the whole show because you had a running order. I'll never forget that, you know, 3 artists show up, they're not on the show, but because them have a name, you know, them put them on, and then it caused problem with you now, and then at the end of the day, you either not get to perform, or when you get to perform, the show almost done. Obviously, that's 20 years ago, I talk about, so we've evolved past that, but I found that sometimes over the period, I've found that, you know, that has still been a challenge. You go to a show, you're supposed to have half an hour, and then because of time management, it cut to 20, it cut to 15. And I've seen this happen to the biggest artists. It no matter what you want name. It no matter what you want name. I think that has been a challenge. But of course, it's even more challenging for you. And, you know, me have 4 albums now, you know, so if I get a call, say, boy, you only can do 5 minutes now from the half an hour. It almost don't make no sense for driving on the show. You understand? So that to me has been one of the pain points of ministry over the years. I think we've gotten better at it, but it's certainly not a perfect world. I mean, the last time I was in Jamaica, I did Genesis Kingston, I did Gospel Tenacity, and I did Praise Break, it was called. I remember showing. So I was in Kingston, St. Anne, and Clarendon. So that was 3 shows in one night, trying to juggle a schedule. And you know, you have to be on time, or you're gonna miss your performance. You know, and but I must give credit again. Where credit is due. Those worked all smoothly, but I know for other artists involved, it wasn't smoothly. So you know, we all have our different challenges. But to me, that has been the most annoying thing over the years. You know, when you go to an event, you know, I've been on Salvation PhD at UTech. You have 20 minutes. And the show start 2 hours late, so then I'm cut it to 5. And then after they cut yours to 5, and you're just there 5 and done, all of a sudden they manage back the time, so they start slowing it down, then the MC talking longer, you say, you know, they're rushing for nothing. So yeah, that has been an annoyance, to be honest, but I think we've gotten better at it.
Wonderful. I agree. Well, we give God thanks for technology, because I guess as technology, you know, the certain aspects of technology, the advancement of it, and you know, the creativity, you know, you have, it's easy for people like even myself, DJ Robert, to do things even virtually as well. So I guess you know, it has evolved for the best, and trust me, we're really grateful for that. Really grateful for that. So my next question is, bro, with COVID-19, it has affected everybody. In terms of your music, how has it affected you? In fact, is it a case where you record from home, or you have a producer where you are that you can go to, voice a tune, and then send it back to the producer? How the whole COVID thing kind of affect you?
So the main thing about COVID affecting me, I would say, is more from a travel point of view. So, you know, I had plans to, obviously, the last time I traveled, it was October 2019 when I launched my album, and that was in Jamaica. And then the plan was to, you know, do some work in the mainland of UK, like London, Birmingham and stuff, and then go to the US. So we had a whole plan to roll out the album, so to speak, in terms of tours and events, but obviously COVID-19 hit that, so that never really happened. So that, I guess the travel point is where the pain point has been. In a positive sense, though, you know, where I am, I'm actually on a little island called Guernsey, which is 1 hour away from the UK, 1 hour away from London. So if I wanted to go to London, I go on a plane, and you know, but again, our borders have been closed, so you weren't able to travel for a long time. But I would say the positivity of it has been, you know, being able to host my events here. So I've been able to host 2 events here last year, and part of that was because we're we're a small island. We only have a population of 66,000. So with the borders closed and starting social distance, etc., we're actually able to manage the COVID outbreak. So actually, after March, April, May last year, for the rest of the year, from June to December, we're actually totally COVID free, so we're able to go about as normal, that's kind of why I was able to do my events, etc. So actually I give God real blessings for that. From a recording point of view, again, as I said, there's no Jamaican producer here, or you can't go to a man and say be me a reggae beat, etc. But I found a really good engineer. His name is Mikey. He has really good engineer ears. So the first song I recorded over here, actually, I've never seen this before, but he actually had a portable studio. So you tell him where you live, him come to your apartment and just set up him, pull up everything, set up the mic, set up the, so you basically create a box around you and sit down in front of you with him laptop. So that was the first song I recorded in 2017.
Wait, hold on, what's your same name, Mikey? Mikey, big up yourself, Mikey, wherever you're there. You have to make him listen back to this. Mikey, big up yourself. I like the idea there. It'll work.
Well, let me just say that was 2017, but since then he's actually started teaching at a music school and they have their own little studio space now. So anytime I want to record, that's where I go. I just go to him and I go into his to his music school and they have a little studio booth. So thing well more official now. So I'm not traveling in a little box again, but that's what I do now. So so I did one single with him last year called Bounce Back. The producer of the track his name is from New Life Records and he lives in the UK. So that was my first time working with a UK producer. As you know, RB start turn artist himself, so I'm not really produce as much as before. So I don't want to feel like I have some more questions, so I'm now going to go the next thing I'm going to say. But yeah, right now it's pretty easy to record. I just 10 minutes drive from my house and I reach and deal with it.
Bounce Back. So your last song that you released would have been Bounce Back?
Yeah, August 2020 last year.
Me can play for the people, eh?
Yeah, man.
New Life Records. These are some hard times, but keep holding on.
This one is Bounce Back. Minister Blessed, you are going.
Me know things hard and me know things tough, but my friend, you must never give up. I declare your soul will be lifted up, and you are gonna bounce back. Me know things hard and me know.
So you say the people are gonna bounce back. No, in Jesus' name.
Never give up.
Yeah, man.
I declare your soul will be lifted up, and you are gonna bounce back.
So there you have it, peeps. That Bounce Back.
So let me just say, Mark. So this actually is the first song I've released in Guernsey. So I've released this in the UK, and it's gotten a lot of airplay because the content of it, we have a bounce back. It really speaks to a lot of people who have gone through the pandemic. Whether you've lost their job, whether you've been sick for a long time, and we just say God will restore you. You have a bounce back. So from that message point of view, I really got the cut through in terms of getting airplay over here. Of course, I sent it to Jamaica as well, and you have it as well. But this was the first song, that played on air for me in the UK.
Yeah, and I want to tell you, say it really sound good. You know what I mean? The mixing of it, the rhythm. You know what I mean? Trust me, it's a very good production. Very good production. And with that said, anything new for the people? You want to say something about that?
So the same process, same Mikey record and same New Life Records from the UK. Hit me up again. Say, from last summer we done nothing, so I could do something for this summer. So I have a new track dropping in. You're going to hear it next Sunday right here upon DJ Mark. So I know you say you want to play the reggae remix thing longer, but you have to fit this. You have to fit the scene, because trust me, I love that one here. So I have a new song coming out next week. We're just putting the final touches on it, by tomorrow. But by next weekend it will be out. It's going to be called Non-Stop. I don't know I don't really want to give it fully away, but let me just the concept of it. I mean, a summertime now, so you don't know it's a song where you don't know it's a song where make you dance, and something where anybody can listen to and dance to. Whether you let me give you a line out tight which will explain. Me know you dance already, but me want you dance again. Select a year the song and a wheel and come again. You could have be over 90 or you under 10. So no matter your age, you can listen and dance a song. But
So
me
now
know, me know say you are gonna love it, Mark. And me know say people never gonna love nowadays. So look out for it
So
by Friday. Yeah?
You're not going no more song?
No, I'm not giving about this. Next thing, Mark, but earpiece of the song and try write him own version and put it out tomorrow before mine come out. So, I don't understand.
Yo, it sounds good already still. Trust me, really, I look forward to that one day. And
Yeah,
I mean,
man,
in terms of your music and all them something there, where can people purchase your music? Where they can hear your music? Where them can get your music?
So my music is available on all digital platforms. So Amazon, iTunes, Rhapsody, Spotify, Pandora, Tidal, you name it. Once it's online, from my first album, Purpose, to the second album, Keep Pressing On, to the third album, right name again, God is Faithful. The fourth album, Set Me Free. So all my 4 albums are across all online platforms and you can get them all online. And of course, if you go to my YouTube channel and you just want to listen or watch a music video, you can go there as well. But anywhere that you search Minister Blessed on digital platforms, you find my music.
Wonderful. So 2 more questions I have, leave, bro. 2 more, just 2. Is there any word of encouragement you'd want to give to somebody who, you know, they feel like giving up, you know what I mean, COVID mashed them up, they might lose their job, or, you know, family may not be so good. You as a minister, hey peeps, Minister Blessed preach to, you know, I see our branch out, you know, I wonder if you ever turn pastor like Papa San and you know, and Ryan Mark and Gaddy, you know. But yeah man, that's a really good thing though. So in terms of encouragement for somebody who may be struggling and feeling depressed, suicidal, as I say, you were suicidal, what words of encouragement you can, you know, just give to them in this time?
Well, the first thing I'd want to say is that, you know, depression is real, you know, feeling suicidal, feeling low is real. But one thing you should never do is isolate yourself. So, you know, sometimes like when I'm going through stuff, you know, your brain tell you say, is you alone I got through this. Like you're going to say, you know, talk to somebody because they would not understand, you know, them not going to understand. But the fact of the matter is that we all struggle, we all go through stuff, and it's important to surround yourself with, you know, persons that you can, you know, bounce off, or you can share with, or you can learn from, or you can, you know, be encouraged by, you know. And even a program like this, DJ Mark in the Mix, you know, what are you feeding your mind with, you know? You tune into a program like this, you know, you're getting music that encourages your mind, you know, music that edifies your soul, you know, scriptures, word, everything. So, you know, tune into things that will impact you in a positive way. And remember that you are not alone. You know, we all go through this, even as you see us here as ministers or as DJ, we all have our struggles. You know, COVID-19 has impacted us in different ways. For some people it's physical, for some it's mental, you know, for some it's very emotional, you know. And we just have to hold on strong, because the Bible said all things, not some, all things work together for good to them that love God and are called according to his purpose. So even though, you know, it's really hard and difficult to see what could God's plan be for my life while I'm going through this struggle or while I'm down and outcast, you know. But, you know, remember when Paul wanted God to take the thorn off his flesh, and God said no. And then God, that is when Paul realized that his strength is made perfect in his time of weakness. So while you're going through your storm, while you're going through your struggles and your trial, you know, don't give up. Just hold on, keep pressing on, you know, find a Bible-believing church, find a Bible-believing pastor, if you have a good friend where you can talk to as well. But don't lock up and keep everything inside. And then, you know, that's when the devil start whispering in your ear, say, yo, you're not good for nothing. Yo, might as well they go kill yourself, because, you know, and Satan wants to take away your purpose. But don't lose your purpose. Don't lose sight of the fact that God has a purpose for your life, you know. So not just go to someone else, but pray, you know. God will send his Holy Spirit to comfort you. So just pray and say, God, you know, I don't know what to do. You know, that song you played earlier, Heal My Heart, you know. They were saying, God, me try everything. I don't know what to do, but just heal my heart. Let me not be bitter towards the other person. Let me not be bitter about this situation, whether it's COVID-19 or otherwise. But just heal my heart. Give me peace of mind, the peace that passeth all understanding. So just submit to God. I'm not saying it will be easy. It's not like you're going to just pray and all of a sudden everything good. But God has a way of answering our prayers and giving us the breakthrough just right on time. So just keep pressing on, not to be cliche, but you know the song, keep pressing on in the midst of your storm. Don't give up. Your breakthrough is coming.
Definitely. Sound words, bro. I feel like I could probably just give you the rest of the show. We have half an hour just to preach, because it's like, you know what I mean, this coming like it's a sermon, you know, inside of you where you want for just release. But yeah, man, keep up the good work, bro. Tremendous work.
Likewise.
And how is your family though? Your wife and you know your kids. How is everything for them?
Yeah, they're good. I mean, we just try to get them to bed right before this interview, because obviously it's just 3:30 for you, but it's 9:30 for us. So, you know, I always try to get them to bed by 9 o'clock, but it's not so easy. They're still awake. I can hear that they're still awake. My wife is trying to get them to sleep. But, you know, they've been well. I won't lie to you. It was a challenge when there was a lockdown and you're trying to work from home and you have 2 kids. Boy, trust me. Mommy and daddy, I'm sorry for all the things I'm going to put you through. I'm sorry. But yeah, man, trust me, trying to work from home and do it all with 2 kids is not easy, you know what I mean? So I'm really happy that we're kind of in some normalcy now, and we have, you know, 2 days a week we still have to balance working from home with them, but 3 days a week they're in the nursery, so that kind of helps a bit. Obviously, we have no family this side of the world either, so, you know, it's really all on us. So it's really, it's a struggle sometimes, but, you know, God always provide and always make a way, you know what I mean?
So, Minister Blessed, you have anybody you want for big up, shout out?
You want to get me in trouble? Well, let me big up some of the people. Let me say I listen to this, because I know Luis has been listening. Denise West. Sometimes I hear she come from the east, but she named Denise West. Obviously, DJ Robert has been listening. My parents, Michael, Margaret Blake, been listening. Big up on herself.
Big up, mommy.
Yo, Mark Gale has been listening as well. I know Sister Izzy always listening and supporting. Patricia. Those are the people I can see have commented on the live, so I know they've been there. Violet Blake, my auntie. Big up yourself. We know them call you auntie Gale, but we're not saying a Gale. So yeah, big up everybody that has been listening. Obviously, I'm only looking on the YouTube chat, so that's how we know well. Listen, Auntie Windell, Gary, Uncle Gary, Judith. You know, big up on yourself. Thanks for spending the time to tune in. If anybody who saw the status on WhatsApp or Facebook and Melissa and yeah, listen, but you have some people who will support, you know, but them call themselves ghost supporters. Them now got type.
Them now comment, but them
not type, not comment, but them dead. So big up on yourself, same way, you know. And don't just listen to them because I'm here. You know, DJ my program good every week. So every Sunday, 2 p.m. Jamaican time, you know, I have a nice mix, you know, and play some good songs. Always bring the word of special guests as well. I remember say next week I got hear the song Non-Stop, brand new from Minister Blessed, right? So that means tell if Mark not like it, him have to play it, because we're done till the same play next week.
You not have to worry, bro. You not have to worry, man. You know all I hear song them always shell. So I know say it go be good. And based on what me hear you sing, the little line, me I look forward for it. Me say stick up, big up yourself. Stick up on the life too.
Rich, big up yourself, stick up. You don't know why you stick O and not stick P or whatever. But anyway, if you decide to stick O, your business that. Big up. Then he said I'm a phantom.
Yeah, I tell you, it's easy. Yeah, man. So, Minister Blessed, we want to say big up and tell me which song your favorite song. I'm going to be playing that song right now as we.
My favorite outro. Song?
Yeah, your favorite. What you make? Your song me
favorite song what me make?
Yeah, man, your song.
That's difficult, bro. It's difficult. But right about now, to all me I feel me that go with where I come from far right about now.
Alright, we are come from far. You tell the people that know that song there?
Maybe 50%.
Eh?
Maybe 50% of them, funny.
So yeah, peeps, we wanna tell Minister Blessed thanks for joining the movement, you know what I mean? You know, respect again, bro. For take the time, because I mean, you say after 9, probably about to 10, you know where you are. You couldn't not sleep, you know, but you know what I mean? You decide, say, you go, you know, be a part of the show. And we give God thanks, you know what I mean, for your ministry over the years. As you say, one thing I admire about you, bro, is your hard work. Hard work, definitely. I see that I see that definitely. Even when you're at Lasco, I guess that's just a part of your personality, just, you know, a hard worker. So, you know, we give God thanks and continue doing the good music, you know what I mean, a positive music we are defend. The people them need this, you know, especially at them time here. So let's continue put out the music. We look forward to the chat the next week, because it's going to burn up Road, it's going to burn up DJ Mark, it's going to burn up RVI 24/7. Yeah, man, so big up your wife and your family, and you know, we just want to tell everybody, you know, from his family, you know, thanks for joining, and you know, just continue being a part of the movement, the ministry. Yeah, bro. So definitely respect again, and we'll definitely be in touch. Definitely be in touch. You know, anything else you want to say, bro? Before you leave?
Just thanks for having me. You know, great interview, great questions. You know, I can see your growth as well over the year that you've been doing this. So, you know, keep pressing on, DJ Mark. You know, in the mix. See, I'll have your one T-shirt Bradton did now. So, pick up yourself. Yeah, man. But keep up the good work, my brother, and all the best to you and your family too. Everybody, stay tuned. Keep it locked to DJ Mark. Same way. Cause you still go on after this, right? You go another hour.
Yeah, which hour, bro? We have like 15 minutes left.
15 minutes left?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because 10 o'clock are the next one, huh?
Yeah, basically.
About 10 o'clock my time.
Your time, yeah. 4 o'clock, yeah, so we'll finish off. But make we say, right. Now get the people in Monica Brata. And I mean, right. reggae boys are play about 8 o'clock, you know. I know you know I can't manage it still. But
I'm going to wake up and see I have to just wake up and see the Instagram's feed for see the score line, and hopefully we'll beat the US. Up the US. Yeah. For the exchange rate, them a lead, but we need to beat them.
We need to beat them for that. For real, man. So peeps, there you have it from our brother Minister Blessed. Respect again, bro, and peace out. You don't know, big up.
Alright, shucks.
M to the B. My your boy Lifer.
So there you have it, peeps.
The man them for know so far where I come from.
The man say how far I come from, and literally UK to JA today, no.
Yep. Nobody never know who we are. Constant in a bus walk foot until we get yard. I will do this regard. Can't take me off on the road where we trod. Far we are come from. Get me life and promote that kingdom. I got alone make one of this and not hurry just come. We work hard for this. Over 10 years we in the music. We get no frank man before we get sick. I don't know what I was thinking, but my first stage name was a 90 chicken.
Man, him first. The first gospel name was a 90 chicken. Me should have asked him about that, you know.
Just remember the days them when we are open showing up.
A 90 chicken? Oh yeah, say to me.
Don't want me going home. How can we feed them? When we sing out, we throat not even get water. God bless you, thanks for coming out. And a pot funny back that we are get after.
When nobody never know who we are. Constant in a bus walk foot until we get yard. I will do this because can't take me off on the road where we trod. We are come from. Yeah, well, I know. Some people are going like so them afraid to represent Jesus Christ. But them they certain place.
From I don't say represent Jesus Christ.
They must have man. You know.
I say stay and go rep.
Christ anywhere me go. Anywhere me go. Anywhere me go. Me rep Christ anywhere me go.
Come on, we are repping.
Me rep Christ anywhere me go.
I know say a Jesus party, you know.
Christ anywhere me go. Wear Jesus type on my shirt. You not catch me, I will line a dirt. I'm in the pan my turf, and the girl them coming up. And I talk about them ready for go flirt. Start pick up a skirt, them want me pervert. And make me divert, and I tell me about sin now go hurt. But me are the salt of the earth. And like a sheep for Christ, we know what my whole way. Rep Christ anywhere me go. Anywhere we go, you know. Rep Christ anywhere me go. Anywhere me go.
Miss West Wagwan.
Anywhere me go. Me rep Christ anywhere me go. Yo, so MD, yes, I say now the same thing again, but yes, I know gamble, you know, party. I know that bad so I mean, like, say this influence.
This one is wash away, you know.
I really are going with it, what? You need to tell me, man, what is going on with it? Wash all away. Jesus, wash my sins all away. Wash. It's your boy, Minister Blessed, representing for DJ Mark in the mix. Wash all away. Jesus, wash my sins all away. Wash all away. Jesus.
Jesus wash my sins.
You guys remember the party continue with Praise Without Limit at 5 o'clock with DJ Robert.
Jesus wash him alone could have solved them.
Stick away, say I go live today.
Come stepping on the water. Christ come figure your life in a brother. Sure thing no baby man starter. Accept him as Lord and Father.
Wanna say afternoon to Sandra, Maki, how you doing? That's the music 24.
Jesus wash my sins all away. Wash all away. Jesus wash my sins all away. Wash all away. Jesus wash my sins all away.
Everybody pick a washing of the blood of the lamb. Hey, and if a friend wants to save them, lead them by hand. The hand. Yo, no use a soul for the woman. The boy not girl, not the man. Hey, but join with me and with Christ, you will be loving. The land.
Wash all away. Jesus wash my sins all away.
Hey.
Wash all away. Jesus wash my sins all away. Wash all away. Jesus wash my sins all away. Wash all away. Jesus wash my sins all away.
I was thinking deep in
Christ driven production. Sometimes you need a tiny reminder. What can wash away my sins? Nothing but the blood of Jesus.
This one is from Harvey Sutherland, you know.
Christ driven production. Ready now? Run. Sometimes you need a tiny reminder. What can wash away my sins?
This one is a new one.
Nothing but the blood of Jesus. What can make me whole again? Nothing but the blood of Jesus.
Talk to them, bro.
That me want you to remind me. Say the part when me depend on me find it. Me the last every good thing me decline it. And all me dreams and aspiration devil conceal it. Me was like a butu. Can me do everything devil want me to do. He trick me up and send me go make me a trouble. But Jesus stop me now me track and say me have plans for you. What can wash away my sins? Nothing but the blood of Jesus.
Hold on for me. God, hold on for me. Lord, I need the grace and your tender mercy, oh God. Hold on for me. God, hold on.
This one is from Christopher Gale.
Grace and your tender mercy, oh God. Hold on for me. I don't know how long we can be in the struggles down here. Hold on for me. See me hand there, hold on for me. Hold on for me. Me never know the start, but as many times. Father God, you me while I'm back to the end. You said in your word that your grace is sufficient and I should look to the end. From whence come my mind? When bills are rolling for me, yeah. Now work and it can't be here. Giving up is not an.
You know, that's how we do it every Sunday.
But God with the faith let me have hold on for me. God hold on for me. Lord, I need the grace and your tender mercy, oh God. Hold on for me. I don't know how long we can be in the struggle zone, yeah. Hold on for me. See me hand there, hold on for me, hold on for me. That me know you now, go baby there so. I made the enemy feel like him really know. Me need feel and deep in your holy word. In my life, in my task, me have to put you first. And Christ is solid rock, I'm standing on. All of the ground is just inside. Don't let the enemy run up on you. See a strong and be a faith in Jesus. Hold on for me, hold on for me. God, you hold on for me. Lord, I need the grace and your tender mercy, oh God. Hold on for me. I don't know how long we can be in the struggle zone now.
This is the day.
This one is from Cyber Massive.
We will rejoice. We will be glad in it. 'Cause I believe the Lord is good.
This one is produced by Danny Brownie.
Now and forever. So when the dark clouds come over, we life is that way. Father God, if you come rescue it from the pestilence of our God, you will love and we no love no other God. We love the little island where you put me back.
Yo, let me tell you.
This is the day.
At first, remember your choir actually I do something like this. It's not normal.
Rejoice, we will be glad in it. 'Cause I believe the Lord is good. He is my friend now and forever. So when the dark clouds come over, we life is that way. Father God, if you come rescue it from the pestilence of our
Hear this now.
God, you will love and we no love no other God. We love the little island where you put me bad. We say good over evil, then I make we mad.
Listen to this man now.
For my God is for me. Who can come against me?
It's a warfare mode, you know.
For me, he will fight my enemies. For my God is for me. Who is for me. He will fight my enemies. He is my light, my salvation. I shall not fear. No, I'll never be afraid. But mine may come, Obia won't because I dwell in the secret place of the Most High. So when the dark clouds come over with light, try to stop with Father God, you come rescue me from the pestilence of the wicked. God, you will love and we not love none of God. We love the little island where you put me bad. Good over evil, then I make me mad. Army Moses, God give me the right after. For my God is for me, who can come against me? For my God is for me, He will fight my enemies. For my God is for me, who can come against me? For my God is for me, He
Peeps and ready for party.
enemies. Thank you, Jesus.
So peeps, we have less than 10 minutes left for now, but we are going inside, don't it? So we do it every Sunday. DJ Mark in the mix.
Jesus is the only key to life. Open up your heart and realize you will receive eternal life. Then you will mash up the place like dynamite. Jesus is the only key to life. Open up your heart and realize you will receive eternal life. Then you will mash up the place like dynamite. Hey, hey, that's right. Hey, hey, that's right. Yeah, hey, that's right. Watch out, watch my blood, me no afraid of fire, but anyway, Jesus send me. Yes, I'm never once in a run. Come along me head to the ground. One on your fire till judgment come, me no afraid. Anytime me hear about that, come me well done. No, say me soon, I will surprise me well. Truth, it will resurrect. Me name in all the book, so me can't get it. Jesus is the only key to life. Open up your heart and realize you will receive eternal life. Then you will mash up the place like dynamite. Jesus is the only key to life. Open up your heart and realize you will receive eternal life. Then you like, then you like, then you like, then you. That's the right energy, you know?
This one is Jim Radical.
Don't know.
Jimbo, big up yourself, bro.
Ozone. Yeah. Me say me feel it tonight. Just done, I'm a divorce and strike at midnight. Full of energy, me never know if to do with it right. And no fruit, but the spirit is right.
You're chosen to present for DJ Mark.
Let me tell you, say peeps. Last night, my friend told me just that they have Bill of Vibes and me I play some tune. Me I tell you, they never want the party to stop.
Don't know.
DJ Robert, stick up. Where's the live show soon?
Yeah. Me say me feel it tonight. Just done, I'm a divorce and strike at midnight. Full of energy, me never know if to do with it right. And no fruit, but the spirit is right. Me tell myself, say me happy to choose in the Louis V stripes. 4 tires I go burn up tonight. Me link up new cars, I smoke, so the team already. If I stick out talk about it, too late for in drive. Gotta cover with just like the ozone. Ooh, dress like glisten just like the rose gold. And the fire it a sparkle, it a coast stone. Got a party, we are running just like the tour road. Tell us, gotta cover with just like the ozone. Ooh, dress like glisten just like the rose gold. And the fire it a sparkle, it a coast stone.